F1 might be the dark horse of the summer season because this movie is an absolute blast. It's been 10 hours since I've seen this film, but I'm still so freaking hyped. Let's go! So F1's directed by Joseph Kosinski, who's responsible for Top Gun Maverick, one of my favorite summer blockbusters ever. And in a lot of ways, F1 shares like-for-like story beats. A has-been, or indeed in this film as they call him, a never was, reckless but experienced and talented driver. An old racing friend pulls him in to help his F1 team APXG, a team who have never won a race. More importantly, he's there to help and partner Joshua Pierce, a young, talented, passionate driver that lacks the experience to be truly great. And just like Top Gun Maverick, F1 is exactly what a summer blockbuster should be. So most of you won't be here for the story bits, but of course the racing sequences. And the first thing I think we need to talk about with these sequences is the cinematography, because the camera positioning and placement in this movie is so on point. The wide shots capture beautiful scenery and colors like fireworks exploding before a race. You witness the action from above with large-scale aerial shots keeping you up to date with the driver positioning. And actually one of my favorite mini sequences was saved for the end of the movie, in which you just see the track. No car, no cockpit, it's you, 3 inches off the ground, moving at a thrilling pace. This was one of the scenes that gave me chills throughout this movie, and I mean that in a plural sense because these races get your heart pumping. They're exhilarating, engaging, unpredictable. Screw it, I'm gonna do it again. Another contributor to these scenes is indeed Hans Zimmer's musical score. Such a safe and reliable pair of hands, this guy. It was one of the first things that I noticed at the start of the movie, and indeed as I walked out of the theatre at the end. I'm not going to pretend to know the foggiest about composing, but I'm going to comment on it anyway. There's just something about the beat to this one. You're watching these sequences unfold before you, enthralled by what's going on, but you still catch yourself bobbing your head along to the theme. However, as you can imagine, sometimes in this film things go wrong, and here it's the lack of score that brings the drama. There was one scene in particular that had my movie theatre floored. I'm talking pin drop. I was audibly gasping out loud. On top of that, thankfully they get the racing scenes to character moments ratio spot on. What I mean by this is that you don't have racing sequence after racing sequence in which the film starts to feel more like a car documentary. Likewise, you don't have elongated character moments which just bring the movie to a halt. Brad Pitt is very much Brad Pitt in the movie, which to be honest works well for it. His character's a tad cocky, reckless, bit of a ladies' man, but you also suspect that this guy has a lot of unresolved emotional conflict, which you find out about towards the end of the second act. And it was this reveal that gave me chills towards the end of the movie. Damson Idris plays Brad Pitt's teammate, and he does a great job in portraying this character who's very externally driven by things like, say, social media followers, and in general he's just a person that just doesn't want to listen, and he sells this part so well, where at times you are basically screaming at the screen being like, dude, stop being such a dick and listen to Brad Pitt, he knows what he's talking about. But because of this, when you get those cheering come on moments when these two start working together as a team, they're so much sweeter because of the character moments that have come before it. The rest of the side characters are pretty good as well. You've got Javier Bardem and Kerry Condon in particular. They get a little bit of character context so they don't just feel like placeholders in the movie. My problems with F1 are few and far between and really quite minor. I really don't like saying a movie's too long because if you've got a great bit of art in front of you and you're just getting more of it, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I do think it's valid because this movie clocks in at 2 hours 36 minutes long, which is no small feat. By comparison, Top Gun Maverick was 2 hours 11. And that's why I'm a bit hesitant to mention this as a bit more of a critique of the movie, but I do think the perfect runtime sat around 2 hours 20, maybe 2 hours 25. Because there was a point in the second act where the movie allowed me to breathe for a little bit too long and then had to gear me up again for the third act, which to be fair it did. The only other small negative surrounds the story and the screenplay. As I alluded to at the start of the video, we have seen a lot of these story beats before, and as a result sometimes they're a little bit cheesy and a little bit cliche. But you know what, I'm done talking about the negatives of F1 because this movie, screw it, I'm doing it again. On the Rosenthal Reviews ranking, I'm going to give F1 a 9 out of 10. Certainly the best car film since Ford v Ferrari. On the entertainment echelon, it's a 10 out of 10. This is exactly what a summer blockbuster should be. This saying gets thrown around a lot, but I genuinely mean this. Go and watch this on the biggest screen that you can. And yes, that means forking out the extra $5 for IMAX because it's so worth it. I love this movie. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below when you watch it. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.